Welcome to JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Rich's Boxing and Limitless Creations. And with me now, Kelton McKenzie. How you doing, Kelton?
I'm okay, thanks, Joel. Good evening.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it, Ken.
Yeah, how you doing though? You all right? Everyone's okay?
I'm doing fine. The family's fine. We're just waiting, like I said previously, we're waiting for the lockdown to ease down on the lockdown restrictions so we can get back into the boxing clubs and to the gyms, leisure centres, and start training young people and adults again back into the boxing world.
Yeah. No, it's a big part, and it's for mental health, physical being. It's getting back out there again, isn't it?
Definitely. We know that through mental health and psychological well-being, we know that sports or keeping active is the main necessity to keep going.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. Before we go into your career, just touching on what you said there with the mental health, because a lot of people always have a good moan about boxing, don't they? And say, the blows to the head, it's an angry sport. It's, people going at each other.
By definition, yeah.
But if you look at the breakdown of the sport,
skills,
what it can offer, the physical side, keeping yourself fit, your mental well-being, having that sort of drive, having ambition,
and it keeps you focused as well. I mean, if those are the ones take sports serious, whether it's football, basketball, particular boxing, it's a hard sport. Every sport's hard, but particular boxing, you have to stay mentally focused and stay determined and have that discipline as well.
Yeah.
While we're training,
I think
very important.
Discipline's probably one of the biggest things out of boxing, isn't it? Because you have to be disciplined from start to finish. With your food, your diet, your fitness, your training. You've got to be on it all the time, haven't you?
Definitely. If you don't, you as I say now, as my motto, use it or lose it.
Yeah.
So if you're not into don't want to continue eating healthy, watching your weight, staying away from going out all the time. Well, we cannot go out anyway. So that's not an issue. But as long as you stay, again, 100% focused and stay attentive to what you want to do, if it's a sporting career in boxing, then it needs to be applied at least about 90%.
Yeah.
At high level.
It's incredible, really. When people do have a dig at it, I understand why some people have a dig at it. I can understand that side of it.
Yeah, it can be fun.
At the same time, I don't know. Once you start getting passionate about it and you start looking deep into it and going through it yourself, even if it's, we were talking about it, like going from a white collar to an amateur level, pro level, whatever. When you get a taste of it, I think you understand it.
You do go more further down. I mean, you tend to understand what's involved in the hard work and the training, staying away from probably the family. If you've got children, I had to stay away a good 3 or 4 weeks when I had a decent title fight. When I fought for the Midlands title, first round, I had to stay away 6 weeks. It paid off. When I had the IBO Intercontinental title fight and the British title eliminator fight against Barry Earns, one of Barry Earns' young fighters. Again, it was almost about 2.5 months, 3 months, and then it come up to the day before the fight. I had a phone call. Sorry, the fight's been cancelled. Yeah. So psychologically, I had to stay focused. Then I got told it's going to happen again at Aston Villa Leisure Centre, big ground, and then another 3 months training. This time I was eager to win. I don't care at all extent. I was going to win that fight. And then it came again to the day before the fight, got a phone call. The fighter has now apparently got a hole in his head from his brain scan.
Blimey.
So imagine me training for 6 months as a job, as a fighter, trying to get to the top, with, again, a good trainer, but working with barriers and hopefully getting that recognition, that chance to move into the world rankings. But it didn't happen. So, again, that was a sick enough for any fighter, any pro fighter or athlete.
Yeah.
So mentally, psychologically.
Was that fight okay in the end?
No, never happened.
No, was that fighter okay after he obviously found on the scan?
Oh yeah. Well, we sort of found out that no explanation was done afterwards. As far as I know, I think it was okay, but from my point at the time, we still wasn't told that oh, he had that.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, one fighter to another fighter, one trainer to another trainer. Oh, Kelton should be compensated for 6 months of training for a big fight, title fight, and this is what happened. Of course, every boxer's health and well-being is most paramount. You know, important. I think because we were told the first time, it was like he was in a street fight the first time.
Yeah.
Why would you be in a street fight? So we didn't take that one for real. And he was a champion. Now was a challenger. And then the second time, the day before the fight, that doesn't happen, does it? It's not real. Twice before the fight, and again, psychologically was the big thing.
Yeah.
We had to move on. And then I got told I was fighting for the British title against John Joe Irwin, another top fighter. I think he was based in, I don't know, Ireland or somewhere. That was supposed to be a British title fight. Good fight. And then that didn't come off. With cancellation. So I'm telling boxers that now who are based in Leicestershire. Well, a couple of good boxers that are based with Frank Warren, Leon Woodstock, CJ Challenger. And I'm telling them, always giving them advice that always be prepared for the unexpected. Otherwise, you know, you don't know where to turn. I mean, we don't seem to get that training as fighters, do we? We get told, yeah, you're fighting, you're getting so much, you've got to train for 3 months, 2 months, but then if it's cancelled, no fighter gets trained for that. You just have to go back home, and start from the drawing boards again.
It's like that. It's like a ball. You know, you've done all that, and then you think, I've done all that for what? You know, it's kind of that, and then you've got to almost hit the reset button again, and try and think, right, now I'm going to have another new opponent. I'm going to have another situation. You know, it's all sorts. But hang on.
Hi.
Always get. You never know, mate. You never know. But yeah, no. Let's go back to the start of your career then, Kelton. Where did it actually start for you? Because you know, obviously through your career, you had a good 8-year career. You know, you had your highs and your lows, but you know, you had those situations with the titles. But you know, you won stuff along the way as well. But where did it all start?
The same again. It was mainly like my brother. He was into pro boxing, and then again before I actually got into the main signing that contract pro boxing, I was getting into the schoolboy finals, senior finals as an amateur. My brother was the British champion, and then we used to have the TV round. I thought I want some of that. We had the TV round to my mother's house, and ITV was coming around, and he was training hard. He said, "Well, Kelton, you're schoolboy senior champion as an amateur. Come with me up hills, jogging every Sunday morning, and see what it's like for me as a pro boxer, what training's like." And I did that, and I thought, you know what? I'd like some of it. I want to turn pro, and I trying to move up in that pro ranks. So he said, "Okay, come and talk to my trainer. You know Tony Simpson, Chris Pyatt, and world champions." So they all trained at the same gym in Leicestershire, with Ken Squires. Is known as the Animal. It gets you ripped, it gets you hard as nuts. So we trained Sibbo, who fought Hadler. Rest in peace, just passed away. And Chris Pyatt, former WBO middleweight champion of Leicester, and my brother, he got to number 1 as a British champion, light welterweight, 10-stone champion. So I thought, yeah, can't go wrong. I'll go there. And that's what I did, sign the contract. He looked at me, goes, "Yeah, can you spar with a couple of lads? I've got former British champion. Can you spar with him for a couple of weeks?" Did that, hold my own, and there I was.
Yes.
Turned pro, and yeah, that was history.
Yeah. Nice. When you started out, was there anyone in particular that you looked at in the sport as like an inspiration, apart from your brother?
Nassim Hamid.
Oh right, yeah.
As my weight category, but obviously the bigger fighters was Mohammed, Sugar Ray Leonard, because he would deliver his targets, his goals, and not get hit so much. It would still stay pretty. And the only fight that does that now is Floyd Mayweather. So much. I mean, a lot of critics like when the fighter gets stuck in, don't they? I know my friends used to say, "Kelvin, come on, Kelvin, get stuck in, get hit, to deliver 20 punches." But the aim of the game is to like deliver your goals without getting hit.
Yeah.
taking too much shot.
Yeah,
So,
it's the saying, isn't it? Hit and don't get hit. You know, that sort of move in, bang, get out. You know,
yeah,
and,
quick moves. You know, good footwork, elusive body movements, lateral movements. So that's the sort of thing I used to work on a lot because I was quick as well. I used to play rugby and I used to move on fast footwork.
Yeah.
So I used to do that. Yeah.
On your sort of tiptoes with rugby, aren't you? The way you move, you've got
you have to be.
sort of on you know, ready to go each time. Really,
You have to be nimble. So on the flank, I was a flanker, so I have to be quick receive the ball, and like a whip it, off I go. Hard to catch. So yeah, at that time as a pro, I think Nassim Hamid was my main inspiration because he was my weight, and I was going to fight him.
Okay.
Before that, I was going to fight John Boom Johnson from America.
Right.
We got offered. He had I think at the time he had 34 fights, knocked out 32 opponents, and loyalty was on points. So we got offered, you know, a little bit of cash for that fight, and I was like, and my trainer was like, well, no, we want at least double that, you know, to go over to America.
Yeah.
And so we turned that down, and next thing we knew, Nassim Hamid took the fight and stopped Boom Johnson in a few rounds. Classic. But it was a good guy, so who knows what was happening to me? I don't know. You know, we felt we was ready, but sometimes you can overprice yourself in a fight, and then sort of thing happened to me, overpriced, and then for about a year didn't get a fight.
Did you ever talk to Prince Nassim?
Yeah.
Did you ever talk to Prince Nassim?
Yeah, he's a nice, down to earth guy. It was nice, down to earth. I mean, it was at one stage I was high in the rankings. It was number 14, and I was number 10. So at one stage, but I was, you know, going back, and I thought, yeah, he's got to fight me to get the title. But instead, I think as well, as a British fighter, he fought Steve Robinson.
Right.
Didn't know if you heard of Steve Robinson, the former world champion. And then he beat Steve Robinson. And then Steve Robinson boxed me over 8 rounds. And I thought that was a close fight. His sister came into the changing room and said, Kelton, I thought you'd won that fight. But he got it because he was a former world champion.
Yeah.
So it's where you stand in boxing that might pay dividends when it comes to scoring or judging.
Yeah, definitely. So what made you? You've obviously finished your career now. You know, what was that sort of deciding factor to sort of call it a day? Because that must be quite hard for a fighter. It's always built up here, isn't it? To keep going and fight.
It's again in my 27, 28. I was trying to get the fights that I was supposed to get, and I was getting messed around from promoters. Yeah, you get this fight, it won't happen. You get this fight, and then it got to the point where someone said to me, "Well, why don't you just take a couple of fights and pay yourself?" In boxing world, they call them journeymen who does that every single week. They box every single week, have about 200 fights, 300, but they lose. They probably won 5 out of 250. So for a while, I think I did that, 10 fights, and then I met my wife now. She said, "Well, you can't have it like that, can you?" I said, "No, I wanted to get better than my brother. I wanted to go for the European title." I boxed the Commonwealth champion in Leicester, at Granby Halls, Leicester. I was told by Barry Earns, matchmaker, if you beat this fighter, Paul Harvey, we will put your next fight on for the European title. And I thought that was just, well, maybe a joke, but it weren't. They tend to talk, you know, reality. And we boxed on the same show, and I think I knocked him down 5 times in an 8-round fight. Got to round 8, stuck my chin out, as in being really cocky. I'm winning this fight. Took it out like that. He did a perfect left hook. I went down. I went down. Just, you probably see the writing if I stop putting it out on social media. But I went down for. My head felt all right, but my legs were like jelly, still shaking. So referee went time out, and it taught me a lesson. Oh.
What are you doing, Kel? What are you doing?
Lights out. I know. Everyone just said, "Kel, what did you do? You knocked him down 5 times. He was on a winner, and you got too cocky." That's most boxers do. When the fight's going easy, and you tend to think, "I've got this in the bag." So I stuck my face out like I was, really an easy win, and then you feel good. I just went, woo. woo. You know, when you see a cartoon and they see the head go spinning round and round.
Birds. The birds.
Yeah, you got it. And it's just one of those.
Oh, mate.
I had to recuperate and decide what shall I do with the career. Do I just no point being a bum and carry on taking fights at 1 week's notice. I did want to get somewhere in boxing. I did want to achieve being somebody, and I did get to number 4 in 15. And I don't think that's going to happen now. Now I took these quick fights and for that 10 fights for the sake of nothing. And that's when I decided to go back, sign off, go back to college, university with a sports degree, and then apply that together with my boxing. And here I am, devising that for young people, age of 5, and adults, 79, the oldest.
79?
79 has been the oldest training to do a bit of boxing in a mobility scooter.
No way.
Yeah, just working on the pads and gloves, skipping rope to the side. He's pulling the skipping rope, doing a little bit of stretching. So, again, I devise different stuff, and I'm quite creative in terms of trying to do, typical boxing workouts, and that's what was my main aim when I retired from boxing as well. I still try to show some of the young ones that, I still got it, still got the speed.
Just don't stick your chin out.
And it's just about not sticking the chin out and getting hit on the head. We do know when you get older, you get hit by a 20-year-old, you're more likely to hurt more than the but the 40-year-old might have that little experience. It's like when I was younger, I was stopping like 30, 40-year-olds. So it's just it's not brain science, is it? So,
yeah. Now the shoe's on the other foot, mate. You've got to be careful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I still get told today, you still look well. What do you do? And I goes, well, face stretches. What I used to do when I was boxing, for the jaw, when you get punched on the jaw. So a good one was face stretches. To stretch the face, and when you're doing that, and just keeping active.
Yeah.
Boxing training, fitness training, HIIT workouts, and a couple of the boxer sides as well.
Do you remember about a year ago, because we didn't know each other then, but about a year ago, I sent you a DM, and you tagged me in loads of different outside exercises in the garden.
Oh yeah.
And then you said, right, you do this, and this. Oh mate, I was killing.
You've got a good memory. You've got a good memory, ain't you?
That was killer.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. It's nice. It's great to hear that you've gone back and you've remembered that.
Yeah, no, honestly, I do my weights at home, and I've got my rower as well now and stuff like that.
Oh, good.
I'm just trying to keep myself,
ticking over as well.
Yeah. But
so you do presenting all the time, presenting now and then in your spare time.
What, this?
Yeah, presenting, or just when you can, as a hobby.
Yeah, I do this, but this is all I do really. But
that's great stuff. I had it last week from another someone that's going into journalism, and obviously I do one that adults do a bit of one by boxing training, personal training sessions. I go to Kelton, I'll do an interview with him. He loved it.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that link as well, from whether it's a world champion, whether it's someone that got up the ranks.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that link. But it's nice also speaking to you that someone else is in that boxing field.
Yeah, I love it. This is something I've been doing recently. Been getting on, amateurs, professionals, managers, coaches, and just chatting to them in and around boxing. And
it's good. It's history.
People's advice and stuff like that. Everyone gives you a different piece of advice, and it's nice to chat on. And your story's so different because you've had that pro career, you've been there, you've done it, but at the same time you've come out and you've been successful, and that's a real message to other people in all sports, because sometimes they come out of sports and they think that's it, that they finish a sport and say they're 30s, mid 30s, most
nowhere to go. They're lost.
Yeah. It's like coming out of the army, isn't it? And
I said that. I did say that. I said that when I retired, that if I can change the norm, that as a sports person, whether I was a millionaire or not, if I can change the norm that all boxers going to be brain damage and the end of it, nothing else to do with their lives. Okay, we'll still do taster sessions, presentations here and there. Yeah. But I wanted to change that. Yeah, I'm going to still got the brains in in the old head. I'm going to use that and apply that somewhere or another to give that knowledge back into the community, whatever way. So I could, and that's what I've done. And like you say, it's a long way, but we've done it.
Yeah, no, and I think it's incredible. You've got, like, as you say, from the age of 5 up to, I know you take up to 100 or 100 plus, but to have a 79-year-old in a mobility, scooter to turn around and show that willing and determination just pays credit to you as well. So
yeah, they loved it. Yeah, different projects, different healthy, sessions. And that's what we try to do. I mean, as yourself, later on, you might be building that repertoire around your area. Be able to do like boxing session with young people, show them how to throw a jab, throw them a 1-2 double jab, bam, hook, move laterally. You may be doing that.
No,
you never know.
I take my hat off to you, mate. I think you're incredible to lead the sport and to take up something you love, but also to share that with others is something really special. So
it was hard. But like you said, no one wants to put an end to their career for whatever reason, especially when you think, oh, I've still got a few years left. Especially when I was on the highs. But I do like preach to young people now, the next generation. You're going to find the lows as well. And you've got, the stronger you are as an individual, the stronger character you are, then you're able to cope with this a lot better.
Yeah. You learn from the lows, don't you? Just as much as you do from the highs. I think if you can deal with it when you hit that sort of rock bottom and those troubled times, then when you're on a high, you're on an absolute high, aren't you? It's
different. Yeah. You don't see what's down below you. And that's what I try and say to young people. Try and keep your feet firmly on the ground. Never lose who you are. I must admit, it did make me move up the mobility ladder a bit. As I got better and better, I thought, I'm special, a bit naive, bit thinking, no one can touch me. But you have to have that mentality. Otherwise, it's when you go into that ring, remember there's only 2 people, you and your challenger, your fighter, your opponent. And if you've got that weakness, that weak spot, one day, or regularity, you kick in many fights or many tournaments. So, yeah.
So I'll leave it with one thing. If you had one piece of advice, you could give a fighter coming into the sport now, what piece of advice would you give them?
I would say always go with an open mind. If you see a chance to join the club and you've got the willingness, the determination, the drive, the discipline, go for it. Don't think twice. Don't think in 5 or 10 years' time, I should have done it. Go for it. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit harder with the COVID situation. But if you do get the opportunity, you want to work hard, you want to put something into the community, take the opportunity, go for it. Don't wait.
No.
So
you're a top man, Kelton. Top man.
Yeah, I try to be, Joe. As yourself, I can be a devil when I want to be. But like I said, I've got many characters. But the main thing I'm trying to do is have like you say, to be positive, especially when you're working in schools, around the universities, the colleges, the healthy projects around sports centres. I need to have a healthy surrounding. Otherwise, I might as well change what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You still can have a bad attitude, and it gets out. People know about it sooner or later. I'd rather be who I am, try and be successful in what I'm trying to achieve and accomplish, and get the message across to young people and adults, and then I feel better as well as an individual.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you never stop growing, do you? You never.
No. It was great again to discuss this, online with yourself, as it was last week with the interview. It brings back good memories.
Well,
so thank you for having me.
I hope things start to, lockdown hopefully will start easing soon, and you can get back out there and share that positivity. Share that positivity, give the kids the fun of it, and give them that drive again. So I really appreciate
100%.
your time. I really appreciate it.
Definitely, 100%. I agree with that. And it can happen. We'll wait for it. And I'll still be applying my workouts online when I'm doing my indoor sessions. So I'll look out for you as well, Joe. Yeah. Keep moving.
Subscribe to the channel and you'll see me most of the time, mate.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to. Do that. Yeah.
But no, thanks for coming on, mate. I really appreciate your time, and love to the family.
Well, thank you for having me, Joe. Okay. Thank you.
problem at all.
Take care, soldier.
Take care, Kelton.
Okay, bless.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Well, Kelton McKenzie, brilliant fighter, in and out of the ring. You know, he's showing he's got that drive, determination, and let's hope that we can just get the schools, get those gyms open, get the halls open, and he can go and do what he's so good at. You know, sharing the fitness, the positivity, and yeah, just bringing hope to people sometimes, I think, is the main thing. So I wish him all the best for the future. But you've been watching JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Richard's Boxing and Limitless Creations. As I say, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel and check out all the other content. But thanks for coming. Thank you.